Hello everyone, quick video today. I'm working on a 16 F-150 Platinum with the 3.5 Ecoboost. This one has 107,000 miles on it and the customer's complaining of a burning oil smell. I want to show you some common problems on these Ecoboosts. Well, I've got it up here in the air. First off, I want to show you these exhaust manifolds. They always break the bolts, the back. So this stud is broken off. See if I can get up in there. And that one's broken off. What these will do when they break off, eventually these manifolds warp, and then under boost you'll hear this whistle noise until the engine warms up, and that's what it is. It's usually this right side that goes first. Since this guy is complaining of an oil leak, I'll show you that. These are really common. In fact, almost everyone will leak from this vacuum pump. Also, I think the corner of the right valve cover is leaking. Okay. So a really common leak. One other failure point on these, I think this is the first gen. Let's see if I can get it over here. These Jiffy Tight connectors, they also leak. Now this one looks kind of crusty. I don't think it's leaking yet. These are a royal pain to do. You technically got to pull the turbo out. I have done them before where I cut the pipe and fish those in there. But it's got a Jiffy Tight connector in the bottom. And then, let's see, can I get around there? And there's the other one up there. So those are a really common failure point. And almost every one of these also leaks. They seep on the timing cover, and they always seep from that bolt right there. This looks kind of crusty too. Now this isn't leaking as bad as most that I see for 107,000 miles, but it must have an oil pressure galley and behind that section of the timing cover, but they will, every single one of them will leak there. I'm on the passenger side looking at the Jiffy connector on top of the turbo. What will happen on these is oil will leak down from the vacuum pump. See if I can get it up in there. It drips down on this pipe and it runs down and it swells the seal in this right side Jiffy connector, and then it will leak coolant. This one hasn't got to that point yet. See, can we see? Look, this one actually looks like it has the right valve cover and the vacuum pump leaking. Most of the time it's just the vacuum pump that I've seen. And here's another common problem I see these all the time. These Vista roofs, the front glass panel, they leak and the drains plug up, and some of them leak and can't ever figure out where the hell the water's coming from. They'll get the headliner wet. This one, when I got into it, you see here the amount of moisture. It's on the inside. This thing is like 100% humidity in here, and it stinks of mildew. It's all moisture. See if this is on the inside. Oh, that's on the outside. Yeah, so this is just dripping down the inside of the windshield, and this has been in the shop for a little bit, so it was much worse when I went and got in it. So if you're in a high or if you're in a really rainy climate like here, man, they're gonna give you nothing but problems. Also, these I've seen a few of these. They will leak at the the seam sealer behind this corner of the dash, where they like rivet the layers of aluminum together, where the bulkhead meets the A-pillar and it runs down. And I've seen a couple that leak there, and they just leak down. They leak down the floorboard. And I've had them where underneath the sill plate of the scuff plates, there's like an inch of water, and you can hear it sloshing around when you're driving around. I should actually look under this one and see how bad it is. I suspect this one will have a bunch of water in it. I don't know which side, but it's hard to do this one-handed. Yeah, look at all that water down there. Bunch of water in there. This one may actually have a seam seal leak. Yeah, it's wet underneath that tray. See if the carpet's wet here. Carpet and the jute's wet right there. Anyway, here in the Pacific Northwest, big problem with these leaking water. So it turns out I have a 12 F-150 5-liter. These are back-to-back inspections. So this one's 3 years older, and it has almost identical mileage. This one has 108,000, so just a few hundred more miles. Let's take a peek under this one. And we'll take a look at the difference. So first off, I've personally never seen the exhaust manifolds, the studs, break on one of these 5 liters. Maybe they've happened, but I don't care how old they get. Let's see if I can get up there. They're larger bolts, first off, and they're evenly spaced all the way front to back. So these studs are in there. One other thing you'll notice is there's no oil leaks. It's got a little bit here from when someone changed the oil. But other than that, for 108,000, she is bone dry. So there's one of the studs there on the right side. Yeah, everything looks good. It's really pretty much nothing to do under here. Like almost every 5-liter I got, or I get. This one does appear to be maybe seeping a little bit of coolant at this upper hose. Really common. That's about the only thing I see on these. Sometimes some water pumps, and then we'll also have the degas bottle. That fitting right there will also leak. But there's nothing leaking up in the front here. There's the back stud, the upper stud on the left exhaust manifold. Yeah, everything looks great. They always do on these. And here's the passenger side. So there's no vacuum pump to leak. There's no turbo fittings to leak, turbo to go out. None of that. And there's no issues up here. Got a clean positive battery cable in, or maybe you have to replace that one. And then there's surprise, this degas fitting is not leaking. But that is about it. Let's see if the coolant is down. Yeah, the coolant is down. So it's coming from the upper hose O-ring. So this 5-liter needs a few $100s in repairs, and that Ecoboost needs a few $1,000s in repairs. And they have essentially the same mileage, and the Ecoboost is about 3 years newer. And this one is a contractor's rig, so it's they usually never have the best life. They're usually kind of beat up. This one is not in terrible shape, but it's still got or it doesn't have any mold or moisture, dampness smell inside of it. Still smells really good. And of course, so it doesn't have a Vista panel, and this is a steel body. A lot of those aluminum body ones can leak. I've never seen a leak in one of these steel bodied ones. It does have a cracked windshield. All right, guys, that'll do it for this video. Just figured I'd share with you a comparison of a 5-liter to a 35 Ecoboost, and pretty much the same mileage and a few years apart on what the differences are. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.